Dear Hannah, I'm sorry to inform you that your submission was not successful.
Dear Hannah, we were inundated with applications and we regret to inform you, your application was not chosen.
Dear Hannah, thank you for your submission. We loved your ideas and we were really impressed with you and your practice. However, we have decided to go in another direction.
What the actual I believe an indicator to your potential success is your resilience to rejection. If you are in the business of art and design, whether it's tender bids, open calls, gallery representation, or artist grants, the one thing you can almost guarantee is that you are gonna get rejected a lot. You need a sensitive soul and a thick skin to be able to make it in this game. So today I'm going to share with you my top 3 tips for toughening up and getting through getting pied. It's time to embrace being a total loser. I've actually washed my hair today. This is unlike me, hey? What a treat for you all. Hello, it's lovely to have you here. My name's Hannah Bennyhood. I'm an artist and architect, and on this channel I share my creative journey. If that's something that interests you, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel for more. So here are my top 3 tips for dealing with rejection. Number 1, allow yourself a short amount of time to just wallow in your sadness. It is okay for you to be sad when you've just been rejected. In fact, if you don't feel sad, I'd actually question how much you wanted it in the first place. I made a rule for myself this year that I was only going to apply for things that I 100% wanted. Last year, I applied for a couple of things because I was asked to by people, or I felt like I was just applying for things for the money. Inevitably, I never actually got those jobs, and in fact, when I got the rejection, I was a little bit relieved, which kind of makes the whole process a bit of a waste of time in my opinion. The ones that really hurt are the ones that you really, really wanted, and the ones that hurt even more are the ones that you thought you were gonna win. When putting applications together, the ones that I really pour my heart and soul into are usually the ones that I tend to win. I truly believe in my submission, and when I press submit, I think, I've got this one in the bag. If I get a rejection from one of these submissions, it can feel like a real gut punch. And I give myself 24 hours to just wallow in my own self-pity. I let myself have a little cry, I call Jake on the phone and have an inevitable rant about how on earth could they have not chosen me. If I don't have any deadlines, I'll just leave the studio and go for a long walk or call a mate and have a pint. Usually by the next day, I actually feel a lot better. It used to be a lot longer, but I've been around the block a couple of times now, and I know even if this one didn't work, there's usually going to be something else around the corner. So after a day of moping about, it's time to pick yourself back up, brush yourself off, and get back on the horse. Tip number 2, ask for feedback. When you have finished weeping into your pint and questioning all your life choices, it is really important that you actually get back in contact with the people who have given you the rejection and ask for some feedback. It is important for you to understand why you were rejected. I have had a variety of responses. Here are just a couple. Last year I was not chosen for a residency because my parents earned too much money when I was young. Priority was given to people from low income backgrounds. Obviously this was completely out of control and it wasn't clear when I was applying for the residency, but this was a huge learning lesson because what it means is now if I'm ever going for anything that's Arts Council funded, first I email them and I ask them specifically, is there any eligibility criteria needed for this funding? And then it just means that I won't waste my time if there's something that I'm never gonna win. It also made me think, oh, it's not because my work. I have had feedback from some institutions saying that my work is too architectural, and I've had feedback from other places saying that my work is too conceptual and not architectural enough. So remember to take feedback with a pinch of salt. A lot of it is subjective and you don't need to take it all on. Sometimes you get feedback and you realise that you dodged a bullet, like if you get feedback from people saying that you were too expensive. Feedback that I have found most helpful are things like, your program wasn't clear enough. That's something that I can easily work on and make sure I can convey that information better in future. One you might get often is that you don't have enough experience. Now, if you disagree with that and you do think you have enough experience, clearly you're not explaining that or showing that or sharing that in the correct way in your bid. And you can go back and review your application and think, how can I get this experience across better? If you're like, hands up, yeah, kind of agree with that, maybe you can think about who you could actually collaborate with moving forward to make sure you plug those holes in your experience. The important thing with rejection is you don't want to be making the same mistake again and again and again. You should be getting better at the application process as you move forward in your career. Tip number 3, congratulate the person that won. After you've done a few of these applications, you're going to notice that you are up against the same people like again and again and again. Be a good sport, reach out to them and congratulate them when you know who actually won the bid. Whenever I've done this, they usually reply saying how much the job means to them, and it kind of moves from like bitterness or jealousy just to being happy for one of your colleagues. Even if you still think you should have won, I am sure people have thought that about me when I've won bids before, so it all evens out in the wash. Don't try to get too much in a scarcity mindset. There is enough opportunities for us all. Good art creates more opportunity for good art. I will end by reminding you that rejection isn't always the failure it might seem at the time. You don't know who is in these rooms making these decisions, and just getting your name out there is really important. This application process is actually networking. I'll end with a little story. A couple of years ago, I applied to a residency that I really wanted to do. I really tried hard on the application and I got a hard no. I didn't even get shortlisted and I was completely gutted. A year later, I was invited to bid on a project in that same area. I was then shortlisted and I won the bid, and I actually signed the biggest art contract I have ever signed to date. What I subsequently found out is that when I applied for that residency, there was one person in that room that really loved my application. Since that application, they kept on putting my name forward for different opportunities and everyone kind of battered me away. And then finally, just because this person wouldn't stop going on about it, they finally put my name on a tender bid. When I got shortlisted and did an interview, the interview panel were really impressed and actually said to this person, "Oh my God, you were right, she's great." Of course I'm great. What I thought was so interesting about this was, from my side, all that happened was that I got rejected and then nothing came from it at all. But actually, I had found someone who had really loved my work and was supporting me behind the scenes. I didn't even know about it. This person saw something in me, and that's all that you need. The odd person in the industry who believes in you. So even if you are being rejected, just know that you are building up that network. I still definitely get rejections, but my success rate is higher. And I think that is in part because I've got better at doing applications and because I'm becoming a little bit more well known within the people that I want to hire me. But my aim is to get direct commissions. I don't want to be applying for things at all. And that is also slowly happening. So keep going. You've got this. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you've got any rejection stories, let me know in the comments. What's the maximum you've got in one day? I've had 3 rejections in one day. It was horrific. That one took more than 24 hours to get over. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.